Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today I've got another guest with me. This is Yako, who's also known as Cyborgs on YouTube. Yako, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, hello.
So, Yako, tell us a little bit about yourself. We know you got a YouTube channel. I've got a link, I've got the channel listed up here on the screen. What kind of videos do you do?
Well, I make commentaries on all sorts of games, horror, like Photoshop editing, all kinds of games commentaries, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm 13 years old, and I got 53 subs. Yeah, I know it's not. I just delete all my videos, start over again. So yeah, I'm a gamer.
Okay, cool. So, and now were you in that firefight with us in the grocery store in War Z? Were you in on that?
No.
No. Were you now you have been playing War Z though, right?
Yeah. Sadly, I got.
Well, what happened?
Well, I got banned.
And why did they ban you?
I have no clue.
You don't?
No.
Well, when we talked before, you said that. Well, what did they say they banned you for?
No, I just connected to my account and says you have been permanently banned.
And they didn't give you any email or anything like that telling you?
No, let me check it. No.
And what do you think could have happened to cause them to want to ban you?
I don't know. Like, my friend had the same exactly, but like, as I told you, like we spoke together, and I said I think he has been hacking, but I didn't. Maybe it's because of that new glitch and anti-glitch system. Because I got kicked a lot. Like, my friend said, just turn around, like let's say go up the mountain and go all the way around. Then it was like a black box. I jumped and I got jumped all the way in the air, and then I got kicked like 3 times. And then maybe it's because of their anti-glitch system.
And how does that make you feel, having gotten banned unjustly?
Well, I feel like crap, because it's a great game. It has not even been released and I'm already banned.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So now your friend got banned as well, right?
Yeah, he used a 48 hours key, he said.
And you had a full account?
Yeah, Survivor Pack.
And have you ever had anything happen on your account where they give you any warnings or anything like that?
No.
No. So, what kind of hacks was your friend doing?
I don't know. He's coming online later, so I'll try to ask him and see. I think he was wall hacking or something. I don't know. At least not aimbotting. No.
Yeah.
No, he will never do that. No, it was wall hacking or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So he got banned for a reason, though.
Now, I know someone else who knows you, and they were talking to you, and now you said to them that you got a 48-hour temp ban.
Yeah, as well.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Somehow as well. And I'm not lying or anything. I didn't use any hacks. That's true, and 100% sure I was not hacking. No.
And so, what did you get the temp ban for?
Well, that's what I'm asking myself as well.
You don't know why you got temporary banned?
No, maybe because my brother uses my PC as well. He plays War Z as well, so maybe I'll try to ask him if maybe he has been using anything suspicious.
Yeah, it just seems to me that I've heard a lot about them banning people, and
yeah, you told me that, yeah.
And they are banning people who are hacking and using bots and stuff like that. And so you say that you have no clue. They don't. I can't believe that they wouldn't send out something in an email to let you know that you're on your 48-hour suspension or whatever, saying anything.
Yeah. Like, I have nothing in an email about being banned or anything. No, I haven't got anything. Let me check again. Nope.
No, it just says you're suspended for 48 hours?
Right now or before?
Well, I don't know. What?
Like, right now, I type in my password. Here we go. And then it says your account has been permanently banned.
Is it permanent or temporary?
No, permanent. Permanent. Yeah.
So it just seems to me that with as much as you're, what's to make us believe that you weren't really hacking the game and that you were not justly banned?
Like, you're asking me if I really did hack, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't.
Mm-hmm. And
as I said, I'm gonna try ask my brother because he plays it as well, and he does like hacks though. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are both sharing the same account?
Yeah, he's playing on mine.
Yeah. Does he play on your computer or does he play on his own?
No, on mine. No, on my computer.
Yeah. How old's your brother?
Huh?
How old is your brother?
15.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I do have a hard time, having any empathy for you getting banned because, your story doesn't necessarily all add up. And, it seems to me like you're a real risk taker.
That means?
That you are someone who will possibly take a risk to get short-term gain. No?
I don't get it. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I'm really sorry.
Anyway, so I think that I have trouble having any sympathy for you getting banned. You gotta. I don't know whether or not to believe you on what you say. And sure, it could have been your brother or whatnot, but if you are innocent and everything, then I guess that teaches you a lesson to not share accounts with him. And,
yeah, that's true.
And but yeah, I remember being your age, and I was a bad kid. I got in a lot of trouble. So, yeah. Well, I wish you luck on that. I see on your channel you've got some other games that you're doing, like Chivalry and Slender.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a nice channel. Maybe you'll get a few more followers there from doing this interview.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
If you don't, I will kill you, okay?
So, anyway, Jaco, thank you very much for your time, and I will catch you later. So,
yeah.
Okay, take care.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Yep. Okay, so, I gotta say, Jaco, I really, really don't believe you. Your information doesn't really make sense, and it, I just have a hard time having empathy for that. I have told this story before. And I'm not going to outright say that you're lying. I'm just going to say that I am having trouble with with the believability of this. And you know, when I was your age, I had you know, my let's just say that I was not always 100% honest. I mean, if you got in my face and you asked me a question, I would give you an honest answer. But as a kid that age, I was a risk taker and doing some really dumb things. And you know, I was a little earlier in my life. I was given a challenge, and I don't remember who gave me this challenge, but I remember that I got in trouble for telling a lie at school. And my teacher pulled me up to the front of the class and then scolded me in front of the class for lying. And, you know, my lie was that we had this big American flag at the house, and it was so big that it was one that we couldn't that we could never fly on a flagpole at our home. But you know, probably came from some business or something like that. I really don't know where the flag came from, but it was really, really big. I think that it was probably, you know, about 12 foot wide or so, and it was. So I made up this story, and because I was really impressed with this flag, and I made up this story, and I told it to some people in class, and I said, hey, you know, this flag was actually flown over the White House, and you know, we got it somehow, and it was really special and stuff. And, you know, to be honest, I had no clue where it came from. And so my teacher called me out on that and brought me up to the front of the class, and he says, you know, something to the effect of, you know, that's not true and everything. And he really kind of humiliated me in front of the class. And he, but I, you know, was relating that to, I'm not sure who, whether it was him that talked to me or whether I was telling a friend or another adult or something like that. I think I was probably around 10 at the time. And anyway, but I remember issuing myself a challenge. And this challenge was to not lie any further. And to see what happens if I always tell the truth, even to my detriment. To this day, I still struggle with that, not because I'm lying, but because I so strongly feel that I want to tell the truth. And it's really hard to do that even when it harms myself. And so, you know, like in court, you know, you're supposed to tell the truth, even if it incriminates yourself. Otherwise, it's perjury. And if I were in a situation in court and I was asked a question, I would answer it honestly, even if it made me look bad. And I learned that after telling the truth bluntly, I mean really bluntly, after that happened, and I was able to recognize that what happened was that even if people didn't agree with me, they still had respect for me because I told the truth. And that has been a lesson that I've carried with me up to this day. And so, you know, I've recently had some stuff where my previous business, which I have no control over, is seriously having an impact on me. And to the point where, you know, I'm facing some. I've been named in some lawsuits, and it's you know, that company is no longer under my control. It's no longer. It hasn't been in my control for quite a while now, and so now, even though I'm separated from it, it's like being at a job, and a year later that you get in trouble for something that happened at the company after you left. And so even though the impact of this stuff on me is really great, I'm really struggling with it, but and if I were to lie, it would make things easier on me. But that's a short-term gain. What happens if you get found out? You know, if you lie about this stuff and it has to do with legal proceedings and everything, what happens when you lie in that? You perjure yourself. You could be convicted of perjury. You could spend time in jail. That's really on the more serious end of things, but it is, it's part of what makes me up. So it's part of who I am. And so anyway, Yako, you need to get control of your surroundings and everything. I think that, in all actuality, I was told by this other person who knows you that you said you got a 48-hour ban, which you admitted after I talked to you. You were lying in the first place. And, so that totally blows your believability. Just own up to it and be honest right from the get-go. Sure, it doesn't make a sensationalist story. I knew before I even got you on camera that you were probably going to be lying to me about it. And small lie or big lie, it's all a lie if you look at it in black and white. And so even though, you didn't turn around and admit that you actually did something like hacking to get banned, you talked about getting a 48-hour suspension or whatever. And so you were warned. And you went and continued to do whatever it was anyway. And if for whatever reason you got a 48-hour suspension and your brother did it, you shouldn't be playing dumb at all, because it really is all under your control. That's your account. It's under your control. You need to make sure you have absolute control of it. And I know that if that were my account and all of a sudden I got a 48-hour suspension and I was being totally honest with everything and wasn't doing anything, and I knew that my brother played the account, I'd be like, what the hell? I'd be all over his case and I would totally remove any access. And you didn't seem to be that way. So I'm calling you out on this, and I'm issuing you a challenge to just be 100% honest about everything in the future from here on out. And it will be for the better in the long term in your life. And sorry to call you out on camera here, but it did me a lot of good when that happened to me. And I hope that I can pass on that wisdom to you and to anyone else who's watching this who, if you've been telling a lie and everything. And I give you a challenge. I give you a challenge to, for the next month, tell nothing but the truth and see what happens. Even if it's bluntly and, it's gonna do you harm. And if you're a guy and your girlfriend says, does this dress make my butt look fat? You got to answer yes. You're going to catch some flack about that, but, at the same time, it's really about the answer is yes, but at the same time, it's like, I really like this other outfit you wear. It makes you look really good and everything. And so, make it positive. So when your parents ask you, are you lying? If you catch yourself, if you lie so much, sometimes it becomes a habit and you can't help it. And you spit things out before even thinking. And it's like, no, it wasn't me. Well, the fact is that I think lying can become a habit, and it's hard to break. And the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is to immediately correct yourself. Because when you lied, you get that feeling inside, and you say, oh shit, I hope they don't find me out, and everything. And that is, what is the deal here. And I think that you will be a much bigger person if you immediately say, hold on, that wasn't 100% accurate. Let me correct that. And do that to yourself. And I've done that before, and that is one of the hardest things to do, because you are right there, right in front of the person. And they may think that you're a fool or whatnot for having, fibbed in the first place, but they will have a lot of respect for you if you correct yourself. And if you go as far as saying, hey, I've been having some trouble with, lying on things and everything, and I'm really working hard to be as honest as possible, and so I needed to correct myself, and I hope that's okay with you, and I will do that again in the future if that happens again. And you won't believe the amount of respect that people will have for you. And especially at 13, people will think you have enormous maturity for being able to do that. And you'll be well on your path to being a good adult. So, Jaco, I wish you well. Thank you for your call. Sorry if this was a little harsh on you. And thanks for giving me the platform to share this story. So that's it. Take care, everybody. We will catch you later.
You like that, don't you? You like that, don't you? See, my eyebrows are even black. Have my aunt put it on. Makeup. Yeah, it's not really dyed. The eyebrows aren't. Yeah, like these. I was listening to dubstep before a lot of you were wearing diapers, alright? You like that, don't you?